Exclusive contracted novel by Feilu Fiction Network. Beginning with the ancient sacred body, reborn as the school flower, becoming a Licking Dog Gaowu World. Invasion of thousands of tribes. Suyang binds to the heavenly lottery system. At the beginning, it's the ancient holy body. Hang up upgrade. On the day of the completion of the Holy Communion. Immortals in the 9 heavens. Chaos grows green lotus. Who is calling themselves invincible? Who dares to say they will not be defeated? Even in the era of Emperor's downfall, they will not be seen. I am the only one in heaven and earth. My name is Xu Youyan, the future Empress of Great Xia, and one of the 3 Immortals of Great Xia. In the bloody battle of the Great Wall in the starry sky, 3 Immortals of the 10,000 tribes, their bodies die and their paths disappear, and they return to reincarnation. After being reborn, I bound the boy named Suyang and was able to share his cultivation. I will eventually return to immortality and cultivate another immortal for Xia. But why, Ding? Suyang shares your cultivation with you, the 5th level martial artist. Ding. Suyang shares your cultivation with you, immortalDing. Suyang shares your cultivation with you, above immortality. This script doesn't seem to be right. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. 001 starts with the ancient Holy Communion. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hangzhou City. First Martial Arts Middle School. In today's world, warriors run rampant. A powerful warrior, a fist can control mountains and rivers. On campus, on the playground, there is a bustling crowd. Today is the day for the school to conduct martial arts tests. Generally speaking, students who can enter the first martial arts middle school are at least in the realm of martial arts disciples. After 3 years of cultivation, one must at least reach the level of a quasi-warrior in order to graduate and enter a martial arts university. Otherwise, it means that the qualifications are not enough and can only be rejected. This rule is cruel, but it is also very realistic. Because this world is not peaceful. Since the advent of the Gaowu era, the passage from all heavens and tribes to the blue star has also been opened. Countless predecessors of the human race guarded the Great Wall of the starry sky, killed countless people in battle, and forcefully blocked countless tribes from the blue stars. This has brought peace to the local blue star. Therefore, all resources must be spent on the cutting edge. Resources can only be provided to talented individuals. Assessment venue. The assessment director looked at the list and frowned slightly. This year's situation doesn't feel very good. So far, 4 classes have been assessed. Out of a total of over 200 people, only a few 50 have reached the line of quasi-warriors. If placed in previous years, there would have been around 70.80, but this year it is almost 30% less. The assessment director frowned and shouted at the list. Next, Zhao Si is out. Conduct a test. The words finished. I saw a short, chubby boy nervously standing out from the crowd. After verifying identity, the assessment will begin immediately. The first test, fist strength test. The chubby boy took a deep breath. Slash a punch at the target in front of you. Bang. The target emits a muffled sound, and the adjacent display screen displays a red number, 600 pounds. Exceeded the standard line of 500 pounds of fist power for quasi-warriors. The assessment director's eyebrows slightly relaxed. It seems that Zhao Si should be able to cross the line of a quasi-warrior. With this thought in mind, he continued to recite loudly. Next test, speed test. The excitement on the face of the short and chubby boy is visible to the naked eye after passing the boxing test. However, upon hearing the speed test, his face immediately became nervous again. Because of this speed, it is precisely his weakness. Quickly, the speed test is over. The final result. Make everyone sigh. This Xiao Si passed the boxing assessment, but fell on the speed assessment. 8 seconds per 100 meters, he took 8.5 seconds. Xiao Si lowered his head and returned to the team dejectedly. The head of the assessment also frowned again. In the team. As Suyang watched Xiao Si return to the team, his heart couldn't help but move. I have been traveling to this world for over a decade without activating the system. Now, I have only reached the standard of a quasi-warrior. Although passing the graduation test is not difficult, if that's all. My future is probably visible at a glance. Martial arts cannot thrive, so I guess I can only rely on my handsome face to make a living. Just as I was thinking about it, suddenly, a mechanical sound rang out in my mind. The Xu Youyan lottery system is currently being binding successful due to the host's diligent cultivation over the past decade and never slacking off. In order to motivate the host to continue working hard, the beginner gift pack has been upgraded. May I ask if you have received a beginner gift package? System. Before crossing the river, Suyang was also an internet writer. Upon hearing this, I immediately knew what was going on. Without hesitation, he replied, claim it. Novice gift pack. A divine lottery card, upgraded beginner gift pack. 1 ultimate lottery card. This system can draw different rewards from various heavens and realms through different levels of lottery cards. Lucky draw cards can be obtained through various methods such as killing monsters and improving levels by the host. The levels of lottery cards are divided into 6 levels. Low level, intermediate level, advanced level, top level, divine level, and supreme level. Every 10 low-level cards can be combined into 1 high-level card. May I ask if you would like to use the lottery card immediately? Supreme level lottery card. This beginner gift pack. Bully. Suyang didn't hesitate at all and immediately used the lottery card. The ultimate lottery card is currently being drawn. Succeeded in extraction. Congratulations on obtaining the ancient holy body. At the moment when the system voice drops, Suyang's heart was bewildered. The Holy Communion of the past. Is this the power of the ultimate lottery card? Great. However. Wait. Come to my senses. Suyang suddenly felt something was wrong. The Holy Communion of the past. The unparalleled eternal divine body. Although this is the so-called strongest physique of all time. But. Even in the fantasy world, the ancient holy body is also extremely difficult to practice, which is why it is called a waste body. In my current position in this high martial world, I shouldn't be unable to practice, right? If that's really the case, then Suyang feels like she's going to cry. A good holy communion is so useless. System, could you explain it? 002 Ancient Holy Communion. Hang up and upgrade. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Returning to the host, after system testing, the world is not suitable for fantasy cultivation, so the ancient holy body comes with a hang-up upgrade module. Due to the excessive power of the ancient holy body, it has been divided into 50 layers. The host can upgrade every day by hanging up. May I ask if the host is currently merging with the ancient holy communion? With a systematic explanation, Suyang felt relieved. The division of boundaries in today's world. Warriors have 9 levels, with 1 level being the lowest and 9 levels being the highest. After the warrior, there are half-step grandmaster, grandmaster, and grandmaster. At the level of the grandmaster, it can almost be said that he is a super powerhouse. As for the grandmaster, there are the 3 realms of Marquis, King, and Venerable. The Marquis is the lord of a city. For example, the chief executive of Hangzhou is a powerful Marquis. The one who is enfeoffed as a king is the reverence of a province. The grand ruler of Jiangnan province, where Hangzhou city is located, is a powerful feudal lord. As for the Venerable, that is no longer within the reach of ordinary people. I don't know to what extent I will grow after merging with the ancient holy body and achieving great success. The supreme ancient holy body, now merge. Ding. The fusion of the ancient holy body's vision is too terrifying. Do you need the system's help to hide it? Suyang pondered for a moment. Although this world may seem peaceful, it is a world of turbulent undercurrents. Although there is the great wall of the starry sky blocking out the thousands of tribes, there are still many thousands of tribes invading the blue star. The ancient sacred body is also an unparalleled invincible physique. With the hang-up upgrade system, one can eventually become the great ancient sacred body, invincible in the world. If you attract the attention of those terrifying powerhouses of all races before you grow up and put in a lot of effort to erase yourself, it will not be worth the loss. Therefore, Suyang quickly made up his mind to hide and merge the vision. The fusion of the ancient holy body has been completed. The words fell. An additional entry appears on the system panel. The first layer of the Holy Communion of the Wasteland, 0 out of 100, Realm. Wuzhou Wuzhong, hanging speed. 1 hour, not bad. At this speed, I can improve by 1 level in about 5 days. Wait. I am already a 5th level warrior. Suyang's mouth twitched. I was just a quasi-warrior just now. I didn't expect that this newly integrated first layer of the ancient holy body had already reached the realm of the 5th level warrior. No wonder the chi and blood in my body suddenly became incredibly strong, much stronger than before. Undoubtedly, it is an unparalleled invincible physique. Just as Suyang was thinking about it, he suddenly heard his name, next. Suyang. Get ready for testing. The assessment director shouted at the list. Have you reached yourself? Suyang regained his senses and walked out of the crowd. As he finished his debut, he instantly caught the attention of many people. Is he Suyang? He looks so handsome. Otherwise, the school grass must be the most handsome. Who knows which martial arts university he wants to take? I want to register for the same university as him. The girls are discussing extensively. The look in Suyang's eyes was full of small stars. Che, it's not certain if he can pass the test. I remember he was just crossing the line. That's right, look at your group of flower lovers. They're handsome and useless. If you don't have martial arts talent, wouldn't you be just an ordinary person? Boys have different attitudes towards Suyang. After all, when half of the girls in a class have a crush on a boy, that boy, even if he doesn't react at all, will be looked down upon by other boys. Suyang, who was in front of the boxing test target, was indifferent to these. He just looked at the test target in front of him. Feeling the surging chi and blood in my body like a raging river. Clench your fist tightly. Wave it out. Boom. Under the gaze of everyone. The test target that claims to be able to withstand a half-step master's strike. Surprisingly, in front of everyone. Instantly split into pieces. The whole scene fell into a deathly silence. This test target is provided uniformly by the official. All of them have been tested beforehand, and there can never be any quality issues. In this way, can smash this test target with just one punch. The power of this punch. To what terrifying and shocking extent. In the silence of the whole room. Only one person's gaze. Slightly different. This person. It's Suyang's classmate, Xu Youyan. She is recognized as the school flower. A stunning face can almost be said to be breathtaking. The most haunting thing is still her beautiful eyes, like a pool of peach blossoms. Any boy who just glanced at Xu Youyan would never forget her. A few minutes ago, when Suyang was just called out by name to be listed, Xu Youyan's gaze showed a brief moment of confusion. Until several seconds later, her gaze gradually became clear. What comes with it is a strong shock. It's not because of Suyang, but because of herself. I'm reborn. Xu Youyan's face was filled with disbelief. Her memory still lingers on the starry Great Wall. She, one of the 3 immortals of the Great Xia Kingdom. At the time of the massive invasion of the Blue Star by countless tribes. Bravely go to the starry sky Great Wall. With one's own strength. Bloody battle with 3 immortals of all races. Fight until the blood dries up. Soul burned out. But in the end. But still unable to reverse the battle. Killed by 3 immortals of all races. But after that. Unexpectedly reborn into my high school years. After all, it used to be an immortal existence. Xu Youyan immediately calmed down. According to the information in memory. At present, there is a large-scale invasion by tens of thousands of ethnic groups. There are still 10 years left. In these 10 years. With my own talent. It's not difficult to cultivate immortality again. But the problem is, she is still unclear. How did the original Wan ethnic group break through the barrier of the human race? At the time of her death in battle, the other 2 immortals of the Great Xia Kingdom also reached the time when the oil had run out and the lamp had dried up. As for other countries, it is estimated that they are almost the same. The final result is undoubtedly that Blue Star was baptized and enslaved by the blood of countless tribes. So, what exactly is the reason? Or rather, who betrayed Blue Star? Thinking about it. Suddenly, a mechanical sound came from my ear. 003 was selected as the reborn school flower. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Success in binding cultivation sharing system. Host can select a target and share cultivation with it. The party with higher cultivation will share their cultivation with the other party. The degree of sharing is determined by the opponent's talent. The higher the opponent's talent, the higher the degree of sharing, and vice versa. Please select object binding within 1 minute, otherwise you will lose the opportunity for this rebirth. Xu Youyan. System. How could I suddenly bind such a thing? You should know that from today on, I was trained as a heavenly pride all the way. Finally, it took 10 years to become the youngest immortal of the Great Xia Kingdom. Why does this kind of self still have a system? Say it again. Previous life. She has witnessed countless so-called heavenly pride demons. However, they either died young or eventually became her stepping stones. Anyway. In front of Xu Youyan, no one dares to claim to be a genius. In this way. Isn't this just making wedding clothes for others? Do you want to share your cultivation with others? If I remember correctly. My current state should be the 4 levels of martial arts. In this test, ranked first in the whole school. Even more than a few descendants of aristocratic families. So, who should I choose? The problem is, not selecting is not possible, the time is only 1 minute. Otherwise, she will miss this chance for rebirth. If she is still immortal, 1 minute is even enough to orbit the entire Blue Star once. But now she is just the 4th level warrior. 1 minute is not even enough to run to the school gate. So, who should she choose? Wait, Xu Youyan suddenly came to his senses. Like all the people present who are still in shock. My gaze fell on Suyang's body. She has very little memory of Suyang. The only remaining memory seems to be the news report at that time. It is said that after graduating from high school, Suyang was hit by a large truck carrying goods in order to save a passing little girl. Even though he seemed to be a quasi-warrior at the time, he still suffered serious injuries and could not practice again for life. Such a person has a good heart. Anyway, according to one's own talent, sooner or later one will have to make wedding clothes for others. Why not bind Suyang? In this way, perhaps we can also cultivate an immortal for Xia again. Okay, it's decided. Just bind Suyang. Binding successful cultivation sharing is about to begin at the moment when the system voice drops. Suyang also happened to strike that shocking punch that shook everyone. In front of everyone. Split the test target that can withstand a half-step master's blow into pieces. At the same time, the prompt tone of the system is also coming. Shared successfully. Due to the high talent of the bound object. The synchronization level is 100%. Ding. Your realm has been elevated to the 5th level of a warrior. This moment. Xu Youyan is messy. Her stunning face was filled with disbelief. Staring blankly at Suyang in the center of the testing field, the corners of his mouth twitched slightly. She originally thought. After binding Suyang as a system object, will lead him all the way, singing and advancing, and ultimately promoted to immortality. But now, it's actually reversed. Myself has Suyang shared his cultivation. What a joke. She clearly remembers back then. I am the first place tester. With the 4 levels of martial arts, he is known as the first genius in Hangzhou. What exactly is this situation? Messy. Not only Xu Youyan is alone. The assessment director standing next to Suyang is the most chaotic person. Same classmates. The assessment director, who has always been strict and solemn. At this moment, even my words were somewhat stumbling. Obviously, he has not yet recovered from the shock brought by Suyang's punch. On the contrary, Suyang has already calmed down after the initial shock. He finally understood. The power of the ancient holy body. Unparalleled. Especially physical strength. Invincible in the world. Even if one's own chi and blood realm is only the 5th level of martial arts. But the physical strength has far exceeded it. Even reaching the level of a half-step master. So this punch shattered the test target that was capable of withstanding a half-step master's blow, which was nothing but normal. Director, the next speed test can start now. Suyang smiled calmly. The head of the assessment officer rolled his throat. Gnawed like a puppet. Next item, strength test. Start. The words have just finished. I just feel a gust of wind passing by. Suyang, who was originally still in front of him, has long disappeared without a trace. 100 meters away. A machine that tests speed. The bright red numbers were once again highlighted, 4.1 seconds. The standard of 7 seconds for a warrior is almost twice as fast. Another long silence. All people located on the playground preparing for testing. Everyone held their breath and stared intently at the screen. I can't even believe my own eyes. With one's own strength. Let thousands of people waiting for testing on the entire playground remain silent. In the history of number 1 middle school, there is only Suyang. The assessment director panicked. He really panicked completely. He has never seen a so-called genius. He has been teaching for decades. I have seen many guys who have already reached the 1st, 2nd, or even 3rd level of martial arts before graduation. But it's the first time I've seen such a terrifying demon like this guy. The key is. He had never heard of the name Suyang before. There are many excellent students in number 1 middle school. Most of them are children of various aristocratic families. From childhood to adulthood, there have been countless talents and treasures cultivated. This is how they can enter the realm of martial arts before graduation. But who exactly is Suyang? From obscurity to astonishing success. Unexpectedly, there was no news at all. The assessment director swallowed saliva. Take out the phone from your pocket. Dial the number. 004 Contrast Sisters, Sexy Imperial Sisters and Double Horsetails. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. A prestigious villa. The 2nd floor balcony. A girl with a double ponytail and a loli-like appearance is sitting on the balcony fence. He was holding a lollipop in his mouth, shaking his feet one by one. Suddenly, the nearby phone rang. Double ponytailed little loli picked up her phone and answered the call. Hello. Principal. On the other end of the phone, the voice of the assessment director trembled slightly. Tell me, what's going on? The voice of the little lowly with double ponytails is indifferent. His eyes were indifferent as he gazed into the distance, his small feet still swaying. It seems like a monster has appeared in our school. The assessment director explained Suyang's performance during the test. Listen and listen, the double ponytail lowly is interested. You said he smashed the test target with just one punch. Can he withstand a half-step master's blow? Are you mistaken? Principal, you also know that before each test, the testing instrument passes several checks. The assessment director smiled bitterly. To be honest, he wouldn't have believed it if he hadn't seen it with his own eyes. Double ponytailed lowly tilted her head and nodded, okay, I got it. I'll be right there. Hang up the phone. Double-tailed lowly suddenly jumped down from the balcony. Patted the dusty little skirt, pouted and shouted inside. Xu Youyan, your phone number. Not for a while. A graceful figure walked out of the room. The woman was wiping her slightly damp hair with a towel, clearly having just taken a shower. If the double ponytail little lowly just now was cute and moving. So this woman is exactly the opposite type. That perfect curve, graceful posture, is simply the best description of being a beauty. Unfortunately, she was such a sexy lady, but now she looked helplessly at the little lowly in front of her, sighing. Sister, I've already said that in the future, don't impersonate me to answer phone calls. Why don't you just listen? That's right, these two guys have a 70 to 80 similarity in appearance, but their voices are almost the same. It is a pair of sisters. Sister Murong Qing, twin ponytailed little lowly. Sister Murong Yen, sexy imperial sister. When anyone first sees two people, even knowing that they are sisters will definitely reverse their identities. To be honest, it's just too contrasting. Looking at Murong Qing again. She pursed her lips and looked indifferent. It's just a phone call. I'm bored and want to see what you usually do at school. Murong Yen was helpless and could only ask about the content of the phone call just now. After hearing that the school had produced a genius demon, my eyes couldn't help but brighten. I secretly glanced at Murong Qing's reaction beside my eyes. Seeing her casually looking around, I couldn't help but feel a huge stone fall to the ground in my heart and hurriedly say. Sister, if you come back this time, take a good rest. I'll go to school first to take a look. After speaking, turn around and leave. When the result reaches downstairs. But he found that Murong Qing was already leaning against the door. Murong Yen seemed to have thought of something and forced a bitter smile. Sister, aren't you trying to grab someone from me? She knows. My sister is currently responsible for helping the Abyss recruit people. Abyss, an organization specifically responsible for hunting and killing thousands of ethnic gaps that entered the Great Xia. Such a good seedling, I guess she must have also been thinking. As expected. I saw Murong Qing show a brilliant smile. Taking off the lollipop in his mouth, he grinned. Let's go take a look before we talk. Test site. Everyone has not yet recovered from the shock brought by Suyang. The subsequent tests appear tasteless and casual. After all, there are such terrifying demons ahead. Who else can still shine? This is the original idea of everyone. Until, Xu Youyan went on stage to test. After sharing Suyang's cultivation. She has also reached the realm of the 5th level of martial arts. The standard punching strength for a quasi-warrior is 500 pounds. Warriors weigh 1,000 pounds. After each additional weight, add 1,000 pounds. Half-step master, with 10,000 pounds of fist power. After replacing the testing equipment. Xu Youyan punched 5,000 pounds with one punch. It's the Wuzhe Wuchong. Another big uproar. The whole room fell into silence once again. The assessment director showed a brilliant smile. I thought there would be a terrifying demon like Suyang this year. It is already a fortunate event for number 1 middle school. Unexpectedly. Xu Youyan, who is in the same class as Suyang. Surprisingly, it has also reached the 5th level of martial arts. The assessment director's mouth was crooked with a smile. Start the second speed test immediately. Test results. 4 seconds 1 second slower than Suyang. But it's already quite good. The assessment director heavily wrote a Wuzhe Wuchong after Xu Youyan's name. The assessment test is gradually coming to an end. So far, 154 people have reached the standard line for quasi-warriors. Among them, there are 9 people who have reached the realm of martial artists. 4 heavy warriors. 2 double warriors. Triple warrior, 1 person. These are all famous children from prestigious families throughout the school. They should have achieved such results. Only 2 people remain, attracting the attention of the whole school. Wuzhe Wuchong. School flower Xu Youyan. Those who have not yet reached a certain realm. Suyang. They are 9 people. All were left alone by the assessment director. Meeting with the principal soon. Determine resource allocation. Along the way, Xu Youyan was constantly scrutinizing Suyang. She really can't figure it out. Why is Suyang and himself both martial artists in the 5-fold? But his power is so much greater than himself. In theory, the system will never deceive people. Suyang's qi and blood realm is definitely the 5th level of martial arts. So why exactly is it? Of course. Remove curiosity. The most important thing. Or her once immortal arrogance. She originally selected Suyang as the system-bound object. Just because of time constraints, I made do and chose Suyang, who had a good heart. I originally intended to cultivate another immortal for Xia during my own process of recultivation. But now the result is reversed. I have become the person whose cultivation is shared. As the future Empress of the Great Xia. How can Xu Youyan accept it? 005 Fist of Might. Master Half Step. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Principal's Office. A total of 9 people are waiting here. Excluding Suyang and Xu Youyan. The other 7 are all children of major aristocratic families in Hangzhou. They are quite familiar with each other and naturally stand close to each other. Intentionally or unintentionally, he kept a distance from Xu Youyan and Suyang. Even quietly discussing. Hey, have you heard of this Suyang before? Wow, no one has ever heard of the big school grass, but I don't know how it suddenly exploded. He doesn't seem to be a descendant of a noble family. Did he have some unexpected encounter before? We are all accumulated by our family using natural resources and treasures. Why is he a commoner's son stronger than us? Several descendants of aristocratic families clearly have significant opinions towards Suyang. Suyang paid no attention to this at all. His attention at this moment. Put it all on oneself. So far, it has been an hour since the fusion of the ancient Holy Communion. The first layer of the Holy Sepulchre, 1 out of 100, even if it's just a slight increase in integration level. It has brought significant growth to his qi and blood. It can be seen from this that the terror of the ancient holy body. Suyang is indifferent to these discussions. On the contrary, Xu Youyan frowned in disgust. She is the future Empress of the Great Xia. What I detest the most in my life is the kind of aristocratic families who are high and mighty. So at this moment, nature is mercilessly speaking out and scolding. What are you talking about? It's just waste piled up by relying on family resources. One by one, they are not ashamed, but they are still proud. A word. Directly make the faces of those children from aristocratic families turn blue and white. Several of the people who had a crush on Xu Youyan were even more mournful in their hearts. Why did they forget that this Xu University flower seems to have also come from a commoner background? Just when the atmosphere is subtle in the principal's office, a sound of footsteps came from outside. Yen, here we are. She just walked into the door of the principal's office. It caught everyone's attention. As the principal of Hangzhou Wudao No. 1 Middle School. Although she rarely appears, she has also appeared a few times. That stunning figure and appearance, astonishing to heaven and humanity. At this moment, as soon as she entered, the several children of aristocratic families who had just been arrogant all restrained their breath. Only Xu Youyan is different. At the moment she saw Yen, her eyes were complex. Yen. 1,000-year-old aristocratic family in the imperial capital, a member of the Murong family. One of the 3 immortals of the future summer. For her, she is both a teacher and a friend. 2 people fight together against the starry sky and the Great Wall, resisting the invasion of thousands of tribes. In the midst of my own bloody struggle, she was besieged by 2 immortal tribes. Nailed to death on the Great Wall of the starry sky. Seeing Yen again at this moment, how could Xu Youyan remain unmoved? Seems to have noticed her gaze. Yen glanced lightly at her and asked with a smile. Classmate, what's up? Xu Youyan regained his senses and quickly shook his head. Although Yen felt a bit strange, he didn't pay attention either. Looking at the 9 people in the office, I looked at them one by one. At her current level, she can see through the strength of several people at a glance. 1 level of martial arts Wuxia Erzhong, 5 levels of martial arts. Another warrior with 5 levels. Yan's gaze fell on Suyang and Xu Youyan. In her opinion, since both of them are martial artists of the 5 elements. Who is the demon that the assessment director said can smash the test target with 1 punch? According to common sense, a warrior has 5 levels and a fist power of 5,000 pounds. It is absolutely impossible to shatter the test target that is capable of withstanding a half-step master strike. Yan's gaze turned to the assessment director beside him. The assessment director pointed to Suyang. Signal that he is the demon genius who smashed the test target with 1 punch. Yen understood. Look at Suyang. Carefully examine. Meanwhile, Suyang was also scrutinizing the so-called principal. Yen has made several public appearances. Everyone also rumored that the principal of Wudao No. 1 High School was a peerless beauty. But it wasn't until I saw it with my own eyes that I realized what true earthly beauty is. Although the school flower in my class, Xu Youyan, is equally beautiful. But it lacks a mature feminine charm, pure type, never favored by Suyang. What he likes is the kind of woman with full charm. For example, the principal in front of us, Suyang, it was you who smashed the test target with 1 punch, right? Yan's words interrupted Suyang's distraction. Suyang coughed lightly and nodded. Yen let out a deep sigh. So, you're going to punch me with all your might? Seeing Suyang hesitated a bit, Yen specifically added. Pay attention, use your full strength. This is related to whether you can get the best cultivation resources, understand? Upon hearing this, Suyang nodded. No more hesitation. After Yen signaled to start. Take a deep breath. The internal chi and blood rush like a dragon elephant. 1 punch. Blow it out. There is a faint roar coming out. The surrounding air is starting to roar. This punch. Although Yen easily took over. But at this moment, her eyes had turned pale with fear. She's certain. Suyang is just the 5th level warrior. But why is this punch so powerful? Surprisingly comparable to the half-step grandmaster. Excuse me, is anyone reading this book? The data doesn't seem to be very good if someone is watching, can they give a flower evaluation ticket? 100 flowers plus 1 change 100 review votes plus 1 update 1 comment plus 1 update code writing monsters are fearless. My Great Xia Empress. How can you lie flat? You are listening at novel full.audio. Remove Murong Yen. Even Xu Youyan was deeply shocked. As the future Empress of the Great Xia, one of the 3 immortals. What kind of genius and demon has she never seen before? Don't say it's the 5 elements of martial arts. Even after graduating from Wudao High School, I have reached the 6th level of martial arts. 7-fold. There are also many people around. After all, this is just Hangzhou. Genius from places like the imperial capital and the demon capital. It's called true terror. But the problem is, can be in the 5th level of martial arts. It can unleash a monster comparable to a half-step master's punch. But she has never seen it before. Xu Youyan looked at Suyang in the eyes. It's like watching monsters. Such a person. Unexpectedly, he was selected by himself as a shared object. Is it difficult? He can cultivate faster than himself. At that time, perhaps I have not yet recovered to immortality. He has become immortal, and then share his cultivation with himself, right? Isn't it possible to lie flat in this way? Just thinking about it. Xu Youyan suddenly felt something was wrong. Wait. What are you all thinking? She is the future Empress of the Great Xia. The first genius that never appeared in 1,000 years. The youngest immortal of Blue Star. How can you think of lying flat? Absolutely impossible. Now it's just a temporary lead by Suyang. What will happen after this, I don't know yet. You should know that you are the future Empress of the Great Xia. When Xu Youyan was full of inner drama. Murong Yen had already looked at Suyang with a spring breeze on his face, as if he was looking at a treasure. Being able to reach the 5 realms of martial arts requires the power of a half-step master. Such a monster cannot be taken away by my sister. That is to say, the old lady just saw someone selling cotton candy at the school gate. If you insist on eating a few there, you might have already started to compete with yourself by now. We need to find a way. Murong Yan's gaze fell on Xu Youyan. How about this? Give Xu Youyan to the old sister. Leave Suyang for yourself. Just thinking about it. Suddenly, I feel that the surroundings have become quieter. Murong Yen had a bad premonition. I saw everyone's gaze. They all looked towards their own sides. Suyang is no exception. I saw a double ponytail little lowly who looked 7 or 8 points similar to the principal. He is holding cotton candy in his hand. Eating with relish on one side. Staring at oneself with great interest. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Murong Qing's pronunciation was unclear because he had cotton candy in his mouth. But Murong Yen still heard it clearly. If it weren't for not being able to beat my old sister. She really wants to kick her away. However, she still put on a smile and introduced herself to everyone. Classmates, this is my sister's daughter, named Murong Qing. To be honest. If you reveal your identity. She felt like she didn't have to hang out in front of these students anymore. However, this is at the risk of being repaired by the old lady, so she is still a bit worried. I secretly glanced at Murong Qing and saw that she had only raised her eyebrows without any signs of anger, which made me feel a little more at ease. Result. At this moment. Xu Youyan suddenly couldn't hold back and chuckled lightly. The eyes of the 2 sisters fell on her instantly. Xu Youyan immediately apologized and explained that he had thought of a joke. To be honest. This cannot be blamed on Xu Youyan. She is a reborn person. Nature knows the relationship between Murong Yen and Murong Qing. I just heard Murong Yen say she's his sister's daughter, and I couldn't help but laugh. Fortunately, the 2 of them were not overly conflicted on this point and did not ask too many questions. Murong Yen began to talk about the main matter. A few classmates, you are all outstanding students of our Wudao No. 1 middle school. According to the policy, you can enjoy corresponding resource allocation. According to regulations, martial artists below the 3rd level are entitled to first-class resource preferential treatment. The 7 of you can go to the school affairs office to receive their respective resource privilege cards. Suyang, Xu Youyan, you two stay for a while. The faces of the 7 children of aristocratic families are not very attractive. Drive them away, leaving only Suyang and Xu Youyan behind. This really makes them uncomfortable. But the problem is, they can't compare to others. They could only accept their fate and left the principal's office one after another to go to the school affairs office. Now, there are only Suyang, Xu Youyan and Murong sisters left in the headmaster's office. Murong Yen first looked at Xu Youyan. Xu Youyan, you have reached the 5th level of martial arts. According to regulations, for martial arts players above the 3rd level, each level of improvement will result in a 1-level increase in treatment. Therefore, you can enjoy a 3-level resource preferential treatment. However, Murong Yen glanced at Murong Qing beside him. Continuing. If you are willing to join the abyss, the resource tilt treatment can be increased by 1 level. As for what kind of organization abyss is, you should have heard of it before. Please tell me your thoughts. Upon hearing this, Xu Youyan pondered slightly. She is a reborn person. What is currently most needed is resources. I am not a descendant of a noble family, but an ordinary student. Being able to elevate resource allocation privileges by 1 level is definitely incredibly attractive. The resource tilt level of Xia is only a top 10 in total. Being able to enjoy a level 4 resource tilt during the warrior stage is already quite impressive. In this way, the richer the resources, the faster one can restore their strength. She has confidence, waiting for the realm after the warrior. The gap between oneself and others will be infinitely magnified. After all, she is reborn with all her immortal memories. All she needs is resources. Therefore, Xu Youyan agreed at once. I am willing to join the abyss. Thank you to the big shots for their flowers and monthly tickets. Add more and send it directly. The choice of 007 Fengwang Realm. Successor. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Oh. A faint sound came from Murong Qing's mouth. It seems that Xu Youyan agreed to join the abyss, but it was just a trivial matter. Even his gaze only lingered on Xu Youyan for a moment before quickly shifting to Suyang. This scene shattered Xu Youyan's self-esteem and heart. What a joke. At least I am also a genius in the martial arts world. Even if it is not considered the top level in the entire Jiangnan province. It can be placed in the entire Hangzhou city, which is also top-notch. Joining the abyss as a genius like myself. Are you just as simple, oh? Say it again. I am the future Empress of the Great Xia. Joining the abyss is just valuing your resources. I'm so angry. Xu Youyan took several deep breaths in a row, trying to calm his emotions. But these actions were seen by Murong Yen and directly misunderstood. Murong Yen smiled and said, Xu Youyan, I know you are excited to join the abyss and receive a level 4 resource tilt. But please remain calm. Along the way of martial arts, if you want to reach the pinnacle, you need to have a heart that is not afraid of honor or disgrace. Xu Youyan. Forget it, forget it. She also knows what temperament Murong sisters has. I'm too lazy to say more. On the day when I ascend to the throne again, I definitely want you two to look good. Ignoring Xu Youyan on the side, Murong Qing walked straight to Suyang. Being less than 1.6 meters tall, she had to lift her head to see Suyang. She tilted her head and looked up and down for a long time before finally throwing away the marshmallow in her hand. Stretching out her fair and delicate little hand towards Suyang, "Welcome to the abyss, starting today, you are my person, I will cover you up." That serious expression, coupled with the appearance of a double ponytail loli, is really too contrasting, making people unable to help but laugh. Although Suyang wanted to laugh, he still held back. After all, she is the daughter of the principal's sister, so I still need to take it easy. However, is this little loli with double ponytails also a person from the abyss? He has heard of the organization Abyss. When you are gazing at the abyss is also gazing at you. This is an organization that operates in the dark. Specially responsible for eradicating the gaps between the 10,000 clans in the Blue Star, as well as various human traitors associated with the 10,000 clans. Can such an organization accommodate the next little loli? However, listen to the principal's words. Joining the abyss seems to provide a higher level of resource tilt. This made Suyang feel a bit tempted. At this moment, Murong Yen walked up. Pull Murong Qing apart. I stood in front of Suyang. Suyang, actually you don't need to join the abyss. According to your special situation, I can apply for a resource tilt of level 6 or above for you. This can ensure that you will not experience any shortage of resources all the way to becoming a great master. Afterwards, you can also enter the best martial arts university in the country. Murong Yen hasn't spoken yet. Suddenly, I felt a strong force coming from behind. I saw her whole being caught by Murong Qing. A flick, it was thrown directly onto the wall of the principal's office. Instantly pierced through the wall and flew out. Suyang. Xu Youyan. Murong Qing. Dizzy face, after a while. Murong Yen gritted his teeth and returned. The clothes and hair are a bit messy. Mu. Rong. Qing. She felt very unhappy about her older sister causing her to lose face in front of the students. Just thinking about reclaiming the venue. But after Murong Qing turned around and gave her a faint glance. Murong Yen trembled all over, hesitated, and remained silent. I have no choice, my strength is not as good as that of a person, I just feel so frustrated. Murong Qing turned around. Looking at Suyang, he said very seriously. If you join the abyss, I will choose you as the successor. The successor. Suyang has never heard of this word. Only Xu Youyan and Murong Yen had a change in their expressions. Wuzhe Zhichong, Grandmaster Sanjing, Feng Ho, Fengwang. Every strong person who reaches the realm of enfeoffment. Everyone has the right to choose a person who is optimistic and become the successor. The successor directly has the resource tilt of the 8th level enfeoffment realm. This is for any existence under the realm of kings. All are irresistible temptations. After Murong Yen finished explaining, Suyang couldn't help but remain silent. Just now, when Murong Qing raised his hand and easily threw the principal out. He thought that the strength of this double ponytailed little loli was definitely not simple. But he still didn't expect it. She is actually a powerful person in the realm of enfeoffment. Such a strong person. Surprisingly, he chose himself to become the successor. Suyang felt that there was no need to hesitate about this anymore. I am willing to join the abyss. Extend your hand. It was placed on Murong Qing's small hand. Suyang gave his own answer. Murong Qing nodded in satisfaction. The winner's smile appeared on his face. On the contrary, Murong Yen looked helpless. There's no way. She is currently only a marquis. There is still some distance from the Fengwang Realm. If you want to compete with the old lady for resources, there is no chance of winning. So, surprisingly, they handed over both Suyang and Xu Youyan to Murong Qing. She felt a regret in her heart. Looking at Xu Youyan again. When I heard that Murong Qing was going to select Suyang as the successor, she felt abandoned by the world. Rebirth of Empress Dowager of the Great Xia. Surprisingly, he couldn't compare with Suyang everywhere. However, she is at least a person of 2 generations. My heart is still resilient enough. Anyway. There is a shared system present. Suyang's cultivation is her cultivation. Even if it's the resource tilt of the Fengwang Realm. She's also one. Point. No. Jealous. Jealousy. Crazy addition of updates, only for readers and gentlemen to enjoy watching. Can you please cast more votes for flower reviews, so that I can add more characters until death. 0.88 million miles of barren mountains. Hell training. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After being selected by Murongqing as the successor, Suyang naturally moved into Murongyan's mansion. In Murongqing's words, Suyang is now being covered by her, so she has to follow her side. Murongyan has no objection to this. She checked Suyang's files and found that his parents had passed away due to illness a few years ago. Since you are alone, it would be better to move into your own house to take care of you. In the room, Murongqing sat on the bed, holding a large packet of potato chips in his hand. While delivering to his mouth, he explained to Suyang about matters related to the abyss. Generally speaking, newcomers who join the abyss need to complete a task to demonstrate their considerable strength. The difficulty of the task depends on the level at which you joined, for example, you, Wuzhong. However, considering that your strength far exceeds this level, I have applied to the organization and assigned you another task. Click. Murongqing bit a piece of potato chips and continued. There are rumors that a certain aristocratic family in Hangzhou is implicated in the Tianhu tribe. This Tianhu tribe is considered one of the more powerful clans among the 10,000. According to the organization's review, we have almost figured it out. Here it is for you. Murongqing sucked his finger and took out a photo from his pocket, handing it to Suyang. In the photo, there is a man who appears to be around 30 years old and looks honest. This is Lu Dang, the second head of the Lu family in Hangzhou, who is now about half a stepmaster's strength. What you need to do is kill him. The time limit is within 3 days. Are you confident? Murongqing stared at Suyang. No longer the kind of carelessness in the past. Suyang pondered on this and immediately responded. Prior to this, Murongqing had conducted a comprehensive evaluation of his current strength. As a result, although Suyang's realm remained at the level of Wuzhong, his strength had already reached half a stepmaster. Only in terms of martial arts skills and combat experience, there are shortcomings. So, completing this task is not difficult. As long as there is a lot of practical training in the next few days. Suyang has 100% confidence in being able to kill this human spy in one fell swoop. Well, since that's the case, let's start with practical training first. Murongqing grinned and said. This is one of her favorite moments. At this moment, Murongyan suddenly pushed the door in, holding 2 cups of tea in hand. Hey, do you two want to have a cup of tea and take a break? As he spoke, he looked up and saw the smile on Murongqing's face. Murongyan's heart could have trembled. At first, it seemed that I had also seen this smile on the face of my older sister. That seems to be when the old lady took her for so-called practical training. That memory was simply unbearable. Mo Fei, this is just the beginning. Is the old lady planning to start torturing? Murongyan's gaze towards Suyang was filled with sympathy. Xiao Su. Are you going to start practical training now? Well, yes. Suyang nodded and smiled. He didn't take this matter seriously at all. Regarding this, Murongyan originally intended to add a few more words of reminder. As a result, Murongqing gave a harmless smile, making her immediately shut her mouth. After putting down the tea, he gave Suyang a confident look and hurriedly left. Outside the room, Xu Youyan sat on the sofa in the living room with a helpless expression on his face. As a newcomer who also joined the abyss, she moved here with Suyang. But that guy Murongqing has always focused his attention on Suyang. I almost turn a blind eye to myself, while secretly regretting. Murongyan has already withdrawn from the room. Principal! Xu Youyan shouted out. I originally planned to go out and experience it. As a result, at this very moment, Murongqing also led Suyang out. Hey, we haven't been at home for the past 2 days, so there's no need to leave our portion for cooking. Murongqing casually dropped a sentence towards Murongyan, leading Suyang out. Xu Youyan was stunned when he saw it. What was originally intended to be said stuck in my throat and didn't say anything. But just as Murongqing walked to the door, surprisingly, it turned back. After examining Xu Youyan on the sofa, saying to oneself, "You, come with me and practice together." After speaking, he left without looking back. Practical training. Xu Youyan's original intention was like this. Murongqing said so, and naturally she quickly followed suit. Only Murongyan stood behind, looking at the two so enthusiastic and shaking his head with a bitter smile. Still too young. In the southwest of Hangzhou, there are thousands of miles of barren mountains. Since the advent of the Wudao era, thousands of tribes have invaded. Blue Star expands 100 times. Creatures also mutate together. Among these thousands of miles of barren mountains, there are few human traces, and monsters and beasts emerge endlessly in various realms. The practical training location selected by Murongqing for the two is right here. At this moment, in the middle of the vast barren mountains, Murongqing left the two behind. Most of the demon beasts distributed here have similar strength to the martial artist's 5 levels. You start from here, head north for 100 miles, and I'll be waiting for you there. Say it. The figure flickered. Disappear in place. Next up. Not yet ready for Suyang and Xu Youyan. A majestic pressure instantly permeated 100 miles around. A massive riot is spreading. The ground began to tremble faintly. The two exchanged a glance and instantly understood what was going on. This is clearly. Murongqing used his own royal realm to suppress him. Controlled this monster from 100 miles away and launched a riot. And the targets of the riot are the two of them. Hell training. Starting from here. Looking for flower evaluation tickets. 009 Unparalleled. When there is an invincible heart. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Damn it. There's no such practical training. Xu Youyan felt the raging wave of monsters and gritted his teeth, saying. She remembers when she was a warrior with 4 levels. My first experience was just killing 2 4th-order monster beasts. Monster Realm Division. The 9th level of demon beasts corresponds to the 9th level of warriors. The 3rd level of ferocious beasts corresponds to half-step grandmaster, grandmaster, and grandmaster, respectively. Yao Ho, Yao Wang, Yao Zuan, and Yaodi correspond to Feng Ho, Feng Wang, Zuanji, and Huangjing respectively. But as soon as Murongqing came up, he actually started hell difficulty. This is the middle of the vast barren mountains. Monsters all start at level 5. I am only 5 talented warriors. You can deal with so many raging monsters. Xu Youyan's face was covered in frost. Suyang on the side. There was no such intense reaction as Xu Youyan. When the scent of that raging monster tide comes, his body's chi and blood are surging. As powerful as a dragon and elephant. The invincible mentality brought by the ancient holy body. Let him have confidence and expectations in his future experiences. This experience is mainly for me. If you can't do it, just follow behind me. I will kill all the monsters blocking in front of me. Suyang casually dropped these two words. Heading straight towards the wave of monsters. The unparalleled one. When there is an invincible heart. You. Xu Youyan was overwhelmed by Suyang's words. Unfortunately, there is no way to refute it. She is the Grand Empress of Xia. Once upon a time, people looked down upon me so much. Stomp your feet and grit your teeth. Hard-skinned, we braved the beast tied together with Suyang. Roar. The two of them first met. It's a raging wolf the size of a water buffalo. The strength of this angry wolf is around level 5. A pair of fangs, almost as thick as a person's forearm. Once bitten by it, either death or injury. At the moment of seeing the two of them. In its crimson pupils. Full of bloody slaughter. After a roar. Go straight ahead. At a distance of less than 2 meters from Suyang. Kick the ground with your hind legs and jump up high in an instant. Bite towards Suyang's neck. Suyang's expression remained calm. The moment when qi and blood rush through the body. With lightning speed that cannot cover your ears. Two hands are like iron pliers. Accurately and forcefully grasped the two fangs of the angry wolf. Next up. With a burst of strength all over. Grab these two fangs and forcefully break them to both sides. Hiss. That angry wolf that can rival a warrior 5 times. Just being torn apart by hard life. Divide into 2 halves. Throw down the bloody body of the angry wolf casually. Suyang strode forward without any hesitation. Clean. Sharp. Xu Youyan, located behind. The corner of the mouth twitched. According to her estimation. I want to kill this angry wolf myself. It will take at least about half a minute. Suyang, how much time did it only take? 10 seconds. 5 seconds. The gap between oneself and him. How could it be so big? Ding. Get 1 intermediate lottery card. Ding. Get 1 intermediate lottery card. Ding, accompanied by 1 monster after another dying under Suyang's command. The system's prompt sound keeps ringing. But what impressed Suyang the most was the progress of that ancient holy body. The first layer of the Holy Communion of the Wasteland, 10.8/100. When he first arrived here. The progress of the first layer is only 7. That means. Kill these monsters. Let his progress on the ancient holy body increase by 3.8. In this way. Wait until 3 days later. When performing tasks on one's own. Very likely. I have been elevated to the 2nd level of the ancient holy communion. At the thought of this, Suyang's wariness in his eyes became even stronger. Looking back at Xu Youyan. At this moment, Xu Youyan. It has already appeared somewhat disheveled. Although most of the monster beasts in the frenzy were killed by Suyang. But all the way down. She still killed nearly 10 demon beasts. Her strength is on par with hers. The most important thing is. Why is it so embarrassing? It's because although she retains immortal memories and is reborn. But there are no martial arts or combat techniques that can be used. She is the Grand Empress of Xia. The most basic combat skills are at least above the imperial realm. Without corresponding realm strength to support it, it is impossible to unleash it. If it weren't for gradually becoming familiar with her past combat experience, those 10 monster beasts would have been enough to make her feel flustered. Who? When this trial is over, I must first comprehend the artistic conception. With the artistic conception, at least below the Marquis's realm, there are ants. Xu Youyan secretly made up his mind. The artistic conception and martial arts skills are different. Even if the level of strength has not yet reached. You can also comprehend and use it. She once understood 3 different artistic conception. Just thinking about it. Suddenly, Suyang's gaze fell on him. Xu Youyan immediately lifted his head, with a hint of stubbornness on his stunning face. "What are you looking at? Just take care of yourself." Suyang smiled lightly and didn't say much, continuing to welcome the wild and endless tide of beasts. Murong Qing stands at the top of a barren mountain not far away, watching with great interest the battle between Suyang and Xu Youyan. "It seems that the dosage is not big enough," she muttered to herself. My gaze suddenly turned to a deeper place. After some thought, reach out your hand and gently grasp it. In the depths of thousands of miles of barren mountains, there is an area where other monsters dare not approach. The reason is that there is a ninth-order monster hovering there, a ghost-devouring python. Any monster that dares to invade its territory will eventually become food in its mouth. But just as this ghost-devouring python had just devoured a seventh-order monster, lazily preparing to rest, an irresistible pressure descended in an instant, like an invisible hand, lifting its entire body in the air. As a ninth-level monster, ghost-eating python already has a certain level of spiritual intelligence. In shock, almost completely scared. I haven't had a chance to react yet. Amidst the twists and turns, just fell heavily to the ground. When you open your eyes again, in front of us are two humans. It was originally terrified and about to escape. Suddenly noticed two people in front of me. It seems that they are all just 5 levels of martial arts. The ghost-devouring python may have some spiritual intelligence, but it is not high. Under the trend of instinctive ferocity, instantly changing his mind, he headed towards the two of them and killed them. The brothers gave a lot of flowers. Please be more intense. If I can break 5,000 tomorrow, I'll be 10 more. I am the grandiose Empress of Xia and have become a slave to Suyang. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What is this? Ghost-devouring python. Xu Youyan saw the giant python descending from the sky. His face instantly became somewhat unnatural. Even the initial frenzy of beasts is over. After all, they are mainly monsters of around 5th order. Although I am a bit embarrassed, I can still handle it in the end. But now, Murong Qing, that little girl. Surprisingly, a ghost-eating python was thrown over. This is a 9th-level monster. Let 2 warriors with 5 levels of strength deal with a 9th-level monster. Thanks to her imagination. Hello. Xu Youyan shouted Suyang. I was thinking of discussing with him how to deal with this 9th-level ghost-eating python. But it turned out that at this moment, Suyang couldn't hear her at all. All attention was focused on the ghost-devouring python in front of him. Xu Youyan, looking at Suyang again, when he discovered the monster in front of him. When there is a terrifying presence with 9 levels, there is no fear in my heart, only a strong sense of war. Even more, killing it should earn you an advanced lottery card. So, at the same time as the ghost-devouring python pounced on it, Suyang also moved. It's just that. Deal with this ghost-eating python. Suyang is no longer like before, relying solely on the power and toughness of the ancient holy body. But instead, he used his martial arts skills. Lianshan Fist. Fists burst out like a bolt, continuous like mountains. This Lianshan Fist, although it is only the most basic combat skills taught in school, but it also depends on who is using it. Use Lianshan Fist during the warrior stage. Every time you increase 1 level, you can punch continuously. Wuzhe Wuchong should only be able to use 5 fists. But as the owner of the ancient holy body, Suyang's physical strength is comparable to that of a half-step master. At this point, using this Lianshan Fist, one can already reach the realm of 10 collapses. Every punch comes out continuously. stretching like a barren mountain. A punch is stronger than a punch. A landslide is even more terrifying than a landslide. Boom. 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 A continuous stream of punches hit the ghostly python that came to be slaughtered. The first punch only landed on it. Apart from causing a slight scratch, it has almost no other effect. The second punch falls in the same position. But it has already left a shallow dent. The third punch is much stronger than the second punch. I can already see the hard flesh of the ghost-devouring python, with scars. Next up are the fourth and fifth punches until the 10th punch. That 10th punch with the majestic force of a landslide. Fall with a loud bang. Fall towards the head of that ghostly python. One punch. Just take the head of this fierce and powerful 9th-level demon beast. Bravely smash it. Transformed into a ground of debris. Boom. The massive body of the ghost-devouring python fell. Almost made the ground tremble slightly. Suyang withdrew his fist and stood up. My back is like a god of war. Ding. Congratulations on winning a high-level lottery card. The first layer of the Holy Communion of the Wasteland, 25.6 out of 100, chi and blood surge in the body. Like surging waves. The progress of the first layer of the ancient Holy Communion has exceeded a quarter. Suyang also successfully passed the Wuzhe Wuchong. Advancing to the 6th level of martial arts. Fighting is the best way to enhance strength. As the saying goes. Gollum. Standing behind Suyang. Xu Youyan witnessed this scene with his own eyes. Swallowed a mouthful of saliva. If we talk about the previous boxing test. She only had a vague understanding of Suyang's strength. So this times 10 collapse Lianshan fist. It truly showed her the terrifying power of Suyang. Clearly, it is just the most basic martial arts skills. But it's in his hands. Surprisingly able to exert such power. Xu Youyan is not calm anymore. She boasted that her talent was also excellent. At present, I can use Lianshan fist. At most, it can reach the level of 8 collapses. There is still a certain gap between the 10 avalanches used by Suyang. Empress Dowager of the Great Xia. Unexpectedly being compared to others. Just thinking about it. Suddenly, ding. Detected that Suyang's cultivation level is higher than the host, you have shared your cultivation with Suyang. 6 levels of martial arts. Xu Youyan. He broke through. Are you joking? Aren't you just the 5th level warrior? Surprisingly, they broke through directly in the battle. I haven't even broken through yet. Another step behind. Ding. Please pay attention, this system not only shares cultivation, but also has a mandatory effect: the party whose cultivation is shared shall not harm, betray, or in any way harm the rights of the other party until the next reversal. At the same time, the shared cultivator will be forced to execute the commands of the other party. More regulations are still being sorted out. Xu Youyan. Wait. What is all this and what is it? Cannot harm the rights and interests of the other party. This is not much for Xu Youyan. She is inherently kind-hearted. These things have never been considered. The most important thing is execute the command of the other party. What kind of ghost is this? In this way, if one's cultivation speed is always slower than Suyang, isn't it equivalent to directly becoming Suyang's servant? No way. Absolutely not. My own grandiose Xia Empress. Never be a slave. You must come from behind and keep up. Beyond Suyang. Absolutely. By the way, Suyang still doesn't know the role of the sharing system. Shouldn't you issue any strange commands to yourself, right? Xu Youyan felt a bit nervous in his heart. I secretly glanced at Suyang. Fortunately, Suyang didn't seem to have any intention of addressing her. I just breathed a little sigh of relief. In the distance, on the top of a barren mountain, Murong Qing's mouth twitched slightly. I originally thought that this 9th-level ghost-devouring python should be able to make Suyang a little more stressed. But who could have imagined that he would instantly kill him? Murong Qing could tell at a glance the combat techniques used by Suyang. It's just an ordinary combat technique called Lianshan Fist. There is teaching in Wudao High School. How could it be in Suyang's hands? Does it seem so terrifying? Murong Qing felt as if he had underestimated Suyang. He is truly the successor I have chosen. It seems that we need to increase our efforts. Why don't we send him directly to the depths of the barren mountains? The task of advancing 100 miles. Within half a day. It's already done. At this moment, Suyang was in a great mood. The progress of the ancient Holy Communion has been improved again. Until now. The progress of the first layer has reached 30 points. Almost 1/3 of it has been completed. This way. Wait until 3 days later. I'm sure I can step into the second layer of the Holy Communion. Since the first layer is already as strong as this. What level will I reach on the second level? At the same time, I have accumulated more than 20 intermediate lottery cards. And an advanced lottery card. System. Synthesis. Lottery. Do you have any flowers? Do you have a review ticket? Please.